the whole thing is if you can get your curls defined and not have to re-wet them in order to keep that definition. But when you sleep on it, it's going to smush it and mash it down and all of that. But I still want to get that volume back, but I don't want my curls, my rings to be disturbed. So where I can get the Q-Redo and go through, pull it through my hair, and my hair is getting bigger, but my curls are still defined. Puff family, this is Sita and Garrett, owners of Puff Cuff. We are here today with Eye to Eye with my curly. What was I trying to say?
Get together.
My girlfriend. Thank you. Yeah. My curly girlfriend, Miss Heidi Schmid, actually, and she is the founder and inventor and owner of Q-Redo.
Hi.
Q-Redo is, first of all, it's a magic wand. Ain't no lie. It's serious magic. It gives curls life. Like this is my personal Q-Redo right here. It's a handheld hair steamer. And I feel some kind of way because I did not take advantage of using it when I first got it. But when I did, but when I did use it, I felt so shamed because I had not used it as soon as I got it, and we probably should go back. Let's introduce Heidi, and then we can go from there.
All right.
So that makes more sense.
Let me read Miss Schmid's background here real quick. So Heidi is a curly-haired, yoga-loving mom of 3 grown children with no previous background in hair care.
Me too.
And the inventor and founder of Q-Redo. What started out as a eureka moment changed the hair care routines of many and turned into a thriving business. In 2005, when she first thought that she wanted steam in her hair routine. However, she wanted flexibility that a handheld hair steamer could offer. And she wanted to be able to style and refresh and enhance her curls in addition to deep conditioning. Goals that you cannot achieve with a hooded steamer, and no such thing as a handheld steamer existed back in 2005. She decided to pursue the idea in 2007, and after working with engineers, designers, manufacturers, man, that sounds so familiar.
Right.
So familiar. The Q-Redo was successfully launched into the online retail market in October of 2012. And you can find it on qredo.com.
Yeah, so welcome, Heidi. Yay!
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, Heidi, I know we gave your bio and all, but tell us a little bit more about who Heidi is and what the journey's been with the Q-Redo.
Oh, geez. Heidi's a lot of things. Heidi is, marketing, shipping, packaging, customer service. And
HR, right.
So, it like the bio said, it was like kind of an accidental happening. I became an accidental entrepreneur, just looking for what I wanted. One thing led to another. Just a crazy, crazy journey. Here we are. That's how we know one another. Just, I just following the path. I feel like I follow the path with my eyes closed and my arms stretched out, just waiting to bump into the next thing. We've been so fortunate that we've had good fortune. We've had great customers. We've had great manufacturers and partners. And so really, I just wear a lot of different hats to just keep Q-Redo on the path of growth.
So in the beginning, when you said you saw the niche, so what were you using a hooded steamer and just needed more flexibility, versatility? Or what happened?
No, not so. I was one of those women who, 15 years ago, was just beating my hair into submission, straight submission. Like you have to be straight and you have to be smooth and shiny. And I started on this journey of wearing my hair curly, like many of us. And in doing that, it was really like right when like blogs and hair bloggers and YouTubers were just starting to like be known. And I would search these things and I would see all these ladies had second, third, fourth day hair. I was like, what are they talking about every single day?
Right. What does that mean?
And I like walk around with wet hair until like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Then I look good. Amazon, go to bed and do the same thing the next day. I'm like, there just I don't get how people are doing this. So one day I just had this thought. I thought, oh gosh, like fabric. If I used steam, I could manipulate my hair and give it moisture and rejuvenate, especially I live in a dry climate in the wintertime, and give it moisture. And so I hit the internet. Like I was going to buy one of these things. I was going to buy steam. I'm sure it's out there. All these smart women wearing their hair curly. And I spent a day or more Googling around, and I'm like, nobody puts steam in their hair. I could find at that time a few hooded steamers, but that was really, they were just starting to have a home model and some salons. They were, you would have to go to salon to have that done. And I was like, no, that's not quite what I want. I want to be able to touch and feel my hair and move my hair and scrunch my hair while I'm steaming it. So I couldn't let that idea go.
Right.
Like,
right.
I kept going back to it. And then, after 6 months, I started to say to, I have sisters with curly hair, friends with curly hair. What do you think about this? And they're all like, you should do something with that.
Oh, that's totally different. Wow. Family, like, you should do something with that. Oh, like I said, that's a whole nother segment.
Right.
So,
yeah, exactly.
Good stuff to come to.
Right. So we're gonna be right. We'll take a quick break, and we're gonna be right back with Miss Heidi Schmid of Q Redo. This is Sita and Garrett from Eye to Eye.
Be a vendor at Ditch the Band 2019, a Puff Cuff experience at the Riverside Epicenter in Estelle, Georgia on May 26th. As a vendor, you'll get exposure and connection to our 300,000 followers on social media, exposure to our 20,000 email subscribers, a guest segment on the Eye2Eye podcast available on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play, direct interaction with over 400 attendees, networking opportunities with other local vendors, small business owners, and more. Email dtbevents at thepuffcuff.com with DTB 2019 vendor in the subject line. We'll see you there.
Hey there, Puff Cuff family. This is Garrett and Sita.
Hi.
Hey. For Eye to Eye.
And Miss Heidi Schmid.
And Miss Heidi Schmid from Q Redo. So in the last segment, Heidi, you had brought up about family and how your family supported you in starting out Q Redo. Can you talk to us about your husband Tom and what integral role that he plays within the company?
Yes, he plays a bit. He's the other half. He plays a big role. He tends to. He's at times much more optimistic than I am, so that's been good. That pushes me. Yeah. He is much better with numbers than I am. And
that's the ongoing theme that women can't add.
Well, and I kind of figure why bother?
Right.
He's so good at it. Let him do it.
Right.
So he, for all of the FaceTime that I get, he doesn't. He's in the background. Yeah. He has another job that he works all day. Comes home, does Q-Do, whether it's the finances, the books, the dealing with the manufacturers. He does that all on his time off from his other job, both at night and on weekends. And he is by far Q-Redo's biggest cheerleader. And I am not kidding you. I have met people, either at conferences or walking down the street, who come to me and say, "Oh, I met your husband." Like, oh my gosh, I am sure you did. Because if he sees a woman with beautiful curly hair, he approaches her. He's like so excited to tell her all about us and Q-Redo. And I have no doubt that he has met many of you out there. You know exactly who he is when you do meet him. So he's a great guy. He is the backbone of the business for sure.
And has he been on board with you since you started?
Oh yes, day one. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's awesome.
And he did work. You know, in the years where we were having more engineering and manufacturing, that type of stuff, he did work full time on Q-Redo. And then it was after once we went more towards the marketing and sales is when he went back to his finance job.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And right now you're 100% Q-Redo, right?
I'm 100% Q-Redo. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we would not have Q-Redo if we didn't have Tom.
Oh, that's awesome. These are that.
Awesome.
They're not for my boo.
Hey,
right.
Hold it down for Tom.
Right.
Tom.
Yeah, exactly. It's like 3 kids in Q-Redo. That's 30 years of marriage.
Right.
Oh, wow. How old are your kids? You did this. Okay. So how old were your kids when you started?
Oh, you know, they were like middle school age.
When they need watching the most to me.
Since 2012, and my children are 25, 24, and 21.
Oh, my
Oh, wow.
goodness.
Well, we can survive and look that
I never
good
would've thought.
after,
Right.
You give us hope.
Right. Y'all need to write a book on what the secret is.
Right.
Yeah, right. Keep me out of focus.
That's hilarious.
So what have been some of the biggest could tell us some of your highest peaks and some of your deepest valleys when it comes to the Q-Redo journey?
Yeah, you know, it's never what you think it's going to be, right? You always think the things that are going to be really hard, for some reason, those weren't hard for me, and the things that I thought were going to be super easy were hard. That it was just almost the opposite is what I envisioned. Probably. I'm having trouble thinking of what the hardest thing is. I'll think about it. I think sometimes working alone and like creating having to trust your own ideas and your own intuition, which I know is the right thing to do. But there are times where I have to stop and like consciously think, like, Heidi, just follow your heart, just your intuition.
Right.
Right. That is probably the hard thing some days. The easy thing that has been just such a blessing and such a surprise to me has been the people that I meet. Yeah. It seems like every time I need something, I meet the right person.
That's so true. That's so true.
And those have been the highlights, I think. The people is, you know, if I need, it could be anything. It could be like, I need a new sign. I need for a booth. And I'm walking down the street and a sign maker walks right past me.
Right. Right.
All those connections happen.
Right. That's awesome. And I that's a testament. I think that in small business, I think you have to see the details. You see the details in everything. It's not just, you're not walking around in this, no, not all the time, walking around in this haze, but you're like, you all of the lefts and the rights and the squirrels, they all they come at you. Just like you pay attention to everything, and then you get the benefit and the meaning out of everything. You pay attention to more of the details. So
and it's like you just have to believe that all those details that it's all going to come together. That it all somehow works.
Right. It was interesting because I think back on how when I think you reached out to me first back in 2013 when we did a collaboration or something.
Yeah, we did a giveaway. And then I remember I said, hey, do you want to like jump on the phone and just see, we've got to have the same issues.
Right.
You know, the same experiences.
Yeah.
Oops,
But it was really weird. I mean, but no, I remember because we did the you were a part of the Ditch the Band tote last year.
right.
Which was, I had women fighting over those 6 totes that we gave away.
We have to do that again.
Yes, we have to do it again. My family was my family, my friends that are like my family. They're like, Sita, just put my name in, just a couple, just extra, give me an extra 5 entries. I know my hair isn't curly, but I want that Curito so bad. But I remember you reaching out back in 2013, and I forgot what we did. I don't know if it was a coupon code or promo code, but
a long time ago.
Yeah, okay. It was very long. And I didn't realize that we both had started our companies right around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I had just assumed that QEDO had been around forever
yeah.
because it made so much sense on the whole concept of a handheld steamer. But did you know at that time who your audience would be when you first started the company, who you were marketing to? And who would be, okay. You speak on that.
I did not know when I was putting the business together, when we were designing the tool and developing the tool, I thought that I was going to be marketing to women who had a hair texture more similar to mine. And we were out for about 5 hot minutes, and I found out differently. It was immediately when it went on Naturally Curly, our response was from women with much, much higher texture, much, much more texture than mine. And with that, I didn't know. There was like all these problems. Like these women were spending 3 hours detangling and having to like stand in the shower to refresh their hair and stretch their hair, and issues that I could not appreciate. I could not, and remember, I don't have a hair background.
Right.
So I didn't appreciate that those problems existed. So all of a sudden we launch, and I'm getting this feedback from what was now going to be our target market, saying, oh, thank you. This is what I did. This is how I did it. I literally learned of how multi-purpose the tool was from the market. The market taught me. And I remember I had this much smarter business guy than I am when I was just putting the business together. And he said, you know what, Heidi? This is going to be something, it's not going to be what you think. It's going to be something different. It always is. And I was like,
Did you believe him or not?
What?
Did you believe him or not?
I mean, he's a really smart businessman. He's had a lot of success in business. And I thought, I wonder what it's going to be that, what's the secret? And sure enough, there was something different different path, not 100, not completely. And I still like to see way more curly girls with texture like mine take the leap to wearing their hair curly, and also trying different routines that will give them beautiful curly hair that they have. I would like to see us reach that market. We're working on it. It's been a slower path, that market, I'll say.
That's interesting. We need to talk about that when we come back, because I feel like with our product too, with the Puff Cuff, it's been the same way. It's been exactly the same way. And I just wonder what is the holdup? Why does it move so much slower? But we'll get back to that when we come back, because I want to talk about when she says, when Heidi says more texture than mine, she mean African American women. So we're gonna talk about
women of all color. Yes,
but we'll talk about that when we come back. How it's been an awesome tool for high textured hair. We'll be back with Eye to Eye with Sita and Garrett and Miss Heidi Schmid.
Ditching the band!
It was an amazing event. Everybody should have been here. High energy, lots of fun. I came with my daughter, ended up getting something for myself too. So one for me, the mini post for her. So great thing. Ditch the band, no more band.
No more band!
Hey, Puff Cuff family, this is Garrett and Sita with Eye to Eye, and we are sitting here with Heidi Schmid the CEO and and founder of QRedo. And so we're going to begin this.
No, she's not the founder. She's not the CEO. She's the founder and inventor, just like me. We don't do that CEO cap because that's a whole new level of
But she
responsibilities.
said she wears all the hats.
Are you CEO? It depends on which day it is.
I don't know. You can call me whatever you want to call me. I get all the credit and all the blame.
Right.
Either way, right?
Either way.
So we wanted to talk about in this segment about QRedo, and so you started in 2012, and we're in 2019, right? And I wanted to get an understanding of how it's morphed from then to now,
Or has it?
or has it, right? And is it just you that's now? I mean, we know that Tom, does a lot of the financials and the back end things of contracts and all that good stuff with manufacturers. But just kind of give us an insight of how the company has morphed from 2012 to 2019.
All right. Yes, definitely it has. Some ways more than others. So it's still, I still pretty much run it out of my home office. Although when we first launched, I did everything out of my home. So that included like every little bit of shipping, and I can't tell you how many QRedos went through my own personal house. That we had to put it. That was probably one of the big changes. We had to put an end to that when we started having trucks deliver pallets.
Right. That's what we were saying.
We had the same issue.
And my poor mailman. It was just that had to change. So we've slowly from 2012 to 2019 we don't have any full-time employees other than myself, but we have expanded who we contract with. So the fulfillment house was huge for me. That was just a big, big day to start, officially having things warehoused and shipped professionally and whatnot. I have somebody who helps me with some customer service. I have a team that helps me with social media and marketing, all contracts, all contract workers. But when we first started in 2012, it was literally grassroots. Okay, I need to figure out how to get Facebook followers. Yeah. And so laying in bed, I could do a giveaway. I have QRedos that aren't selling yet. Let's give them away. So I started literally I didn't have any background in I had teenagers teaching me how to post stuff. It was insane. It was crazy. When I look back, I mean, it was crazy. It's amazing we got this far. So I would have, I would post something in the morning and kind of watch it and hope to get a response and answer. And then we expanded to Instagram and I would try and do a couple of YouTube videos. Do not go back and look at those. Do not. I was just, again, I was like the wearing all the hats and trying to figure it out. And slowly as we got some growth, fortunately I could talk to some real experts who have helped me. And those teams have expanded as we've grown these past 6 years.
So has it been, where do you see QRedo? What do you see for QRedo in the immediate future?
Oh, what do I see? Growth. Steam's never going to go away. I mean, the response we get from our market, women aren't going to live without handheld steam for their hair. So all we can do is grow. I could see QRedo partnering. I can see us expanding into more markets, into an international market. I wake up every day to emails from
international people buyers. Are so desperate for QRedo. Yeah. Now you have the patent on this, right?
Oh yeah, we're patented. Yep. So so I could see us. I could see me going in a lot of different ways if I don't have my heart set on any one final outcome other than
just growth.
Yep. Whatever.
That's a great way to put it.
It is.
Right. Because you don't want to, you get to the point people say, well, what's your number and what's this? And it's like, I don't know if I have a number. I don't know if I want to have a number yet. I don't know if, selling the company is in my mind. it's just bigger and better continually, consistently, consistent growth. But I don't know I'm pretty sure you got a number, but
Oh yeah, I got a number.
I don't know. It's hard. It's like you don't want to set yourself up for anything either, because then you don't know how to handle when another opportunity that, like you said, you have no clue that was going to come, or even that was being thought about when it comes into your path.
Yeah.
How to accept it or how to work with that.
Right. Again, it's like follow the intuition, follow, my intuition as to where we're going and who I meet and what opportunities arise without being tied to any one outcome.
Yeah.
Right.
Where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I think that's
I
perfect.
mean, that's a good feel. It's almost you're not in a rush. You're not under any outside forces. You're
Right.
you're doing what you want, what you see the vision is, and where you want to land. And yeah, that's a freeing feeling that you're not stressed.
Right.
It takes away
And staying true to your mission.
Oh, I
and
didn't
your
say I
purpose.
wasn't stressed. But if you heard that, good.
right. Then it's working.
No,
see?
but you're right. Like I could just keep doing what I'm doing, right? I know how to do this now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I know how to do this now. So I could keep, my growth on the path that it has been.
Yeah.
Are
and be
you?
stress-free.
Are there plans in motion about getting that international Q redo? That Q redo that's set for international. Usage?
Yes, there is. And it's taken longer, because it's electric and there's like different,
Yeah.
of course there's different voltage and all the actual unit has to be different, but there's also different requirements, safety requirements in different countries and all of that has to be worked through. So there's an investment there. There's a capital investment in bringing that to fruition.
Right, and people have no idea when you're talking about when they're like, well, how come you just can't have it? And it's like, honey, that's first of all, that's a lot of money and a lot of manpower. Now, how do you even know who to source to help you figure out that issue?
Yeah, we do kind of there. We do have, there's engineers and again, you go out and consult and hope I hope I'm being led down the right path and that this person really knows. I think that may be where a partner comes in. Somebody that sees our potential internationally. That could help me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So has it? I don't want to get stuck there, but has it been hard to get that social proof or that proof that the international market is X when it comes to Q redo? So that
it's definitely
no. I could just show them my emails.
there. Right. It's definitely the proof is there.
That hasn't been
Right.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's a matter.
They're out there. I mean, there is not a corner on this earth that does not have curly heads.
Right.
Nowhere.
And once they, because soon as we also sell the Q redo as a drop ship with Heidi, and soon as we listed it on eBay, the international, we were like, whoa, slow down.
It's like,
It's like at least once or twice a week, we get, how come I can't buy it? And I'm in. It's like, honey, because we don't want you to burn your house down and
Right.
and then have us be responsible for it. So no, just wait, it's coming. But that whole that being the challenge. Is having working capital a challenge for Q redo? And it's a super challenge for us.
I don't want to say that it is, because I really feel like if I made that a priority and went out there and started speaking to people about that investment, I think I would come up with it.
Okay.
I haven't done that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a issue of not having the time, or is it an issue of not wanting to give up equity, or not necessarily needing to do it right now, or all the above?
No, I think we do need to do it. I think that would be an exciting thing for Q redo. I think maybe it's one of those things I'm still ruminating about, where it's bigger than I am in my head right now. Like, it's the whole world and it's all this electrical stuff, and how would I ship, and how would I how would I provide customer service? And I could just, go on and on. So I don't think I have my head around it yet. We do have people working on it, but maybe I'm just not quite. Yeah, I'm just not quite there.
It's intimidating.
Yeah, and I think that's where, like I said, I think that'd be a good place for a partner to come in.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Who said we have experience
doing this, right? This is how you do it. You're not going to remake the wheel, but I'm going to guide you through it, and that I can trust you.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
That's what I'm looking for.
Right. So we're putting that out there. So we're going to have one last little segment with Miss Heidi of Q Redo, and we will be right back with Eye to Eye.
Be a vendor at Ditch the Band 2019, a Puff Cuff experience at the Riverside Epicenter in Estelle, Georgia on May 26th. As a vendor, you'll get exposure and connection to our 300,000 followers on social media, exposure to our 20,000 email subscribers, a guest segment on the I2I podcast available on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play, direct interaction with over 400 attendees, networking opportunities with other local vendors, small business owners, and more. Email dtbevents at thepuffcuff.com with DTB 2019 vendor in the subject line. We'll see you there.
And we are back with Eye to Eye, and our guest today is Miss Heidi Schmid, the inventor of the Q Redo handheld hair steamer. It's life. So, and this is really one of those cross ethnicity things that most people I've found with this whole curly hair business is a lot. It's not just about the hair. It's a lot about race and ethnicity and all of that wrapped into it. And we all have our own sets of issues and hang-ups, and not sometimes being able to just have open, frank, unbiased,
Right.
open-minded talk about our hair. So what I want to know is, I know what Q Redo does for my texture hair, but what does Q Redo do for your texture hair?
Okay. Well, as far as the hair itself, it does the same thing. It opens, the steam hits the hair, it temporarily opens the cuticle, so that moisture can penetrate the hair, whether it's like deep conditioning treatment or just the steam itself. During that time, the hair warms and softens, and both looser texture, tighter texture can then manipulate the hair.
Mm-hmm.
What differs, I find, is the goal of the user. So someone like me with my texture tends to think of it as like a refreshing tool. Well, let me take one step back. Everybody should think of it as a deep conditioning tool.
Okay.
Especially if you have low porosity hair, because that's the way you're going to get the moisture into the hair, regardless of the texture. The cuticle is going to open, the moisture is going to go in. So regardless of the texture. But then when we take it beyond just deep conditioning and we look at it as a tool, like a multi-purpose tool, where we see the differences is the goal of the user. And what a woman of color is going to have when she has tighter texture, she has issues with detangling, stretching. Those are things that someone in my world like I said, I didn't even know that existed.
Right.
What? Detangle? But so perhaps you have a tighter texture, you're going to use the tool. You might want to put the steam in there, stretch and detangle, and then section and twist and braid and do all these cool things that you can do now with steam, that you don't have to go back to cleansing and washing and starting over and drying and walking around for 2 days with your twisting. You can twist your hair up at night, stretch it, detangle it, twist it, sleep on it, take it out the next morning, and it's done. Higher texture is going to do that. Lower texture, like mine, is going to sleep with their hair up in a puff cuff and take that out in the morning. They want to drop their hair loose, and they're going to use the Q Redo to enhance the texture, to try and scrunch more texture into it, to soften it. Even sometimes like to create a little, I hate to say it, 'cause it's a bad word for some, but like a little bit of frizz, because frizz can be functionally good. It can
Right.
give you volume
Right.
and personality and shape. So perhaps someone with my texture would then steam their hair for all those reasons in the morning,
Okay.
aside from just deep conditioning again. Then you take somebody who has just like a little kink, a little wave, like a little bend, and they just get thrilled to see like what humidity and steam can
Can
do, to
do
their
for
hair.
their right. It's like we've been
Wow,
fighting it for years, but then
like I got a kink here, and they love that. And just to bring out again that volume, like
Right.
just plump up the hair with steam. So am I making sense? It's
right. It
It,
totally makes sense. It totally makes
does
sense.
the same thing to all of our hair, but it's our end goal. It's our
Right.
how
What the result is what's
the
different.
purpose. Yeah.
Right. Because for my hair, when I mainly use the Curadew to give myself more volume. Like if I'm sleeping on my hair, give myself more volume without manipulating my curl pattern. So
Okay.
for us, the whole thing is if you can get your curls defined and not have to
Yeah.
re-wet them in order to keep that definition, but when you sleep on it, it's going to smush it and mash it down and all of that. But I still want to get that volume back, but I don't want my curls, my rings to be disturbed. So where I can get the Curadew and go through, pull it through my hair, and my hair is getting bigger, but my curls are still defined. And
Okay.
then even with my puff, like I can put a puff cuff up, put my hair up in a puff cuff, and my puff may be this big, but soon as I Curadew it, I got this massive puff, but it doesn't look like my hair has been thinned out. Because a lot of times with stretching with heat, it can now get like wispy and look like, look like cotton candy for real that's been stretched out and you can see
Yeah,
through
yeah,
it.
So
exactly.
it allows you to keep your the density.
Yes. In other words, yes. It's
So
like
it's just like plumping up the hair.
right.
Yeah.
It's like chia. It just kind of grows.
And and interestingly enough, what you described your first point of use in the morning is exactly what I'm doing. I am refreshing my hair in the morning, trying to just get rid of that flat bedhead, crunchy hair. So, in that case, we're using it. So there's a lot of crossover.
Right. There's a lot of right. And
yeah.
I literally thought, I was like, well, it doesn't make sense to me how a curly girl that has less texture would use the Curadew. I thought the steam would make your hair stretch, like elongate or end up being wet, but it's just enough steam in it to give it, because you're crunching it back, and the nice thing is that the steam the steam doesn't leave your hair wet.
Right. And and I sometimes will describe it for like fabric. If you take fabric and you steam it, you could choose to stretch the fabric out and smooth it and, run your hands over it and really get it nice and smooth. But you could also take it while it's warm and soft and steamed, and you could crunch it and make it really wrinkly. And the hair's the same way.
Got you. That makes
you're manipulating it while it's warm and it has that moisture in it. And it will respond to whether you're stretching it or scrunching it.
Right. But the whole thing is, it's about the result that you want. And the thing is, you got one tool that will give you the exact result you want without damage either, because you're not going to have that heat damage like you would from another with a regular what do you call it, blow dry or anything. So are we wrapping up? Because I hear the music. Is that the Oscar music? You about to get off stage?
but she can give the one tip and then
Okay.
the last item.
One tip that you would give small business owners or inventors like yourself that you wish you could have gave yourself years ago.
One tip, talk to people, say out loud, ask for what you need, talk to people. Everybody wants to be part of it. Everybody wants to help you. You just have to put those ideas that are coming through you out there and get those ideas out there, and the answers will come back to you.
Awesome. That's great.
That would be my one tip.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know you have more than one, but
That was good.
Yes,
That was really good.
that was a good one.
That's the one I thought of right now. No.
Second thing is that we want to let everyone know that Heidi and the Q Redo, and is your handsome husband Tom joining you?
Oh yes, you will meet him.
Oh, the cheerleader's coming.
Yeah.
They will be at our event, Ditch the Band Live, a Puff Cuff experience on May 26th at the Epicenter in Austell. Heidi will be here demoing and retailing her Q Redo. And this will be her first time as a vendor for us, and I'm just like, as soon as we announced the event, I was like, I hope Heidi can come. Please come, Heidi.
Yeah.
But I'm so looking forward to it, and we have to. I hope we can get to go as couples and just vent,
Hang out.
and hang out
Yeah,
while you're
exactly.
here, have dinner or something.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, anything you wanted to say before we close?
No, I'm looking forward to the event. We'll be vending and at the Ditch the Band event 2019. We'll be vending there. We'll have a good promotion. Might even be better than Black Friday. You never know.
Get out! Ooh.
And we're looking forward to it. And also looking forward to seeing who else is there, what else is offered that day.
Well, you're gonna. I can't wait to blow people away with this thing.
I can't wait.
Can't wait. It's gonna be like what they say, rock star worthy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, rock star worthy.
Off the chain.
Well, thank you again, Miss Heidi, for joining
thank
us for Eye to Eye. I so appreciate everything, all the conversations we have, and just being able to lean on each other in this curly girl world.
Yep.
This
And
ever evolving curly girl world.
Those guys have to sit back in the background and support you.
And add and subtract for
See,
us.
that's what we got to do.
Thank you again. This is Sita
Thank
and
you.
Garrett from Eye to Eye. So you're going to take care
Be blessed.
and be a blessing. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.